Hi, gorgeous ladies. How are you? My name is Vanessa Mariano. For those of you that haven't engaged a lot in the content, or if you don't know a lot about me, I always give a little intro. So I work as I'm a passion, pleasure, and trauma expert, and I'm a very powerful embodiment teacher. So I wanted to come on today. I was quite resistant, I have to be honest. It was a huge ascension that I went through yesterday. I don't know if you're aware of the 12-21 grid line that is coming on Earth, that is hitting Earth in December. I'm not sure about your knowledge that you have on this topic, but I wasn't really aware of it. What I didn't know about this grid line, the 12-21, but I do follow content from women that are informed, that are strong in this area. But what I do, what happened with me yesterday was that I actually felt it. I felt the energy shift. There was a humongous shift yesterday, and I felt tired from actually within the last 2 days, not only from yesterday. I don't know if you have experienced the same. Have you experienced the same? Feel free to comment in the comment box. Let me know if you felt this upgrade, if you felt this up-leveling. There was a lot of releasing things from the past, and it caused my body to feel really exhausted. I think it just causes great exhaustion within the body. That's what always happens whenever there's an up-leveling, whenever there's an ascension, right? So, so being the embodiment teacher that I am, I'm very conscious of these changes and of these up-leveling periods, right, of my life, and I'm very clear on the transition that takes place. So what came through in the last few days was letting go of this thought and belief of happiness, and this is why I asked the question, are you seeking happiness, or is happiness seeking you? So unconsciously or subconsciously, I in some way was finding or seeking, happiness through this other person that I wanted to have, or that was, that was part of my life. And what that is, that's like complete self-sabotage. Like it's a very deep thought pattern of belief where you think that your happiness is not within you in completion. So it's where you are not seeing yourself completely whole. Now, as we know, our ascension and our growth, it's always a process. It's always it's a work in progress, like eternally. And we're all at different stages, of course, but I am so honest and vulnerable to open up to you. And this is why I am so good at doing what I do, is because I'm very honest and open about my own progresses and about my own breakthroughs and my own pains and gains. Yeah, so I've recovered. I'm an addict that's recovered from sexual assault, from different addictions in my life. So I believe that trauma is always manifests in our life as some sort or some level of addiction. That could be either from overworking, that could be from over smoking, over drinking, over exercising, over indulging in exercises, or like sex, or fitness regimes. So everything's like an addiction. I'm just going to get comfortable. So for me, for example, on my journey, for me, a massive weakness was needing to kind of fix people that I loved. Like for me, and that's, that all came from the thought pattern of like, separation. It's when, I was healing my body, I was healing my wounds, and it came through as a form or force of separation, which is exactly what I want to bring to the topic today. When you are seeking happiness outside of yourself, you are literally operating from a space of fear, which means that you are separate. You are seeing yourself as separate from what surrounds you. But so it's an illusion, right, of the ego, which is very easy to trick. The ego does really well, when it comes to tricking our mind, right, and tricking us. So So basically the ego is, yeah, so it's always really seeking, the ego is always really seeking, you know, you to kind of hold on to feelings of anxiety and depression and fear. But it shows up, like, it doesn't show itself as in, you know, it doesn't show itself by saying, you know, I'm the self-destructive force within you that is here to, you know, bring you those emotions of negativity. It doesn't, but it's really up to us to identify them, right? To identify the ego and to not give into the ego. Because every time we are giving into the ego, we are separating from ourselves, we're separating from the people that we love. But when you live in love, you are seeing yourself as one. You're seeing yourself as one with everything. So when you are even seeking your happiness, I don't know what, you know, you may be going through right now in your life, feel free to share in the comment box so we can, you know, when you come on live, remember, you know, everything that you kind of put down, that you voice, that you express, it's kind of like you're giving form to it, right? It's all about power and manifestation and, you know, believing and, you know, in-depth faith and obviously vulnerability. That's why we've got this group, is so that we can be vulnerable, and so that we can be open. The same way I shared with you about my recent ascension, about seeing, I was seeing my happiness through the extension of this other person, but in reality it was just an illusion of the ego, thinking that I was, or convincing me that by doing so, I was actually separating myself. I was separating myself from my inner force of love, right? And oneness. So again, you know, addiction is separation. Addiction is that thought belief. It's that thought pattern, that belief system of a needing to have something to feel complete. So it's, again, it's separating you from that force and love within yourself. So I want to invite you to ask yourself the question of, what area in your life are you seeking it as being outside of yourself? And how can you correct that? It's through the thought of love that comes correction. And if we can only identify the thoughts that are stemming up, that are self-destructive and that is destroying someone else, which is, again, you know, it's always originating from the relationship that you hold with yourself, because thought never separates from its source. So you know that if you are holding a negative voice to yourself or to someone else, I ask the question of, where can I see that in myself? Or what is it that I am acting from a space of me seeing something that is lacking in me, that is causing this hatred, or this this hatred towards this person. Okay, so everything that comes from us, everything that we are seeking outside of us is already within ourselves. So the idea is of connecting to that high level, high vibrational power of love and oneness, which is quite the opposite of what the energy of the earth is really dominating in. And when you are connecting to the force of what is happening in the world, the people that do connect to the energy of the world, they are living in sickness, they're living in depression, they're living in anxiety and shame and hiding and in conflict and constant conflict and illness. Whereas when we are doing the daily work, when we are conscious, when we are developing a level of consciousness and awareness, then we are able to self-heal. We are able to we are our own project in our life. So if we are spending so much time fixing other people or changing things manually, we are actually separating our thoughts from ourselves, and we are seeking solutions externally. And that's not where the answer lies. Okay. So if you do come on, say hi and tell me where you're from, and tell me something fun about you. And and something that you may feel that you may kind of you may be coming out of, within the last week. Okay, so I wanted to share my brief ascension. It was incredibly, it was deep, it was exhausting, but I feel like I've kind of come out of the other side. So I just wanted to remind the women that are on this group, remember, if you are in that space of feeling stuck, if you are in that space of feeling exhausted and passionless, and where you are maybe suffering from insomnia, where you may be feeling really stressed and you have this anxiety or those thought patterns that keep creeping in, like when you least expect it, they just creep in and they are crippling. And you feel it on a physical level, you feel it on an emotional level. Know that there is a way out of that, and it's just a matter of understanding why that is happening. Why is this happening? And reaching out for support. And I know that there's definitely a way out. So my mission and my purpose is to help you to open up open up your receiving channels, to experience pleasure, to find your passion, which I feel that we are all deserving of feeling and living with that feeling of passion, that makes life worth living. And in purpose, when you are living in purpose, that's when you are living from a full cup. That's when you are able to serve from a full cup as well. For me, to be where I am now, it was a really long process in the making. It was a long process because, being on a spiritual journey is not a joke. It's not for the faint-hearted. I feel that the spiritual leaders and the people that are here, very clear on, the fact that they are here to make a difference, to create impact in the world, and to, be the torchbearer for others. It's a calling, and I feel that we are all miracle makers. We are all miracle makers. Only some people have done more work on themselves and with that channel, with the light, and therefore we are able to then shed the light on others and show the way. Okay, so that's the topic that I wanted to share today. I'm going to keep it brief. It's been 12 minutes already. I'm going to send you love. If you do have questions, do share, do ask. And feel free to share the video if you find that you've got a family member or a friend or someone that can benefit from this. The hard part for me is to keep the videos really short, okay? Because I always find that I just get so inspired, and there's just so much that I want to share. But so I'm, for me, it's like it's a learning in progress for me, to make sure that I'm giving you the right sort of info and that I'm sharing I'm sharing, the right things to you so that it's easy for you to grasp the message of the day, okay? So if anything is unclear, or if you do want to know more about something, just reach out and ask. Okay, I'm going to give you lots of love. I've got my herbal tea at the moment, so I'm going to be finishing that, and then I'll be getting back to work. I'm working on Unlock Your Femme Fire, Passion and Pleasure channel. So this is a free course that is going to be coming up. So I'm putting a lot of my energy onto this, and I'll be sharing more about what you will be getting from that as well. Okay, so I hope you have a fabulous night or day, and I will see you again tomorrow.